Oh, hi! There's a good chance you've clicked on this video because you want to see what sort of performance we're going to get out of the Radeon HD5450 with 512 megabytes of GDDR2, I think, or it might be 3, I don't know. It's pretty old, it's pretty rubbish, but let's take a look anyway. A few weeks ago I picked up a Black Friday PC which was reasonably spec'd for the price that I paid for it. It was less than £30, which is next to nothing to get a full Windows 10 license included PC. So what I've done, I've taken the PC, I've removed the processor and I've upgraded it to a quad core processor, which was the Q6600. Now they are really cheap. You can get those processors for about £5 on eBay, and in terms of performance for that amount of money you're getting a heck of a lot. And what I thought was, let's keep it as low budget as we possibly can. So I have bought the cheapest graphics card that is low profile, low power consumption and has HDMI out. And I purchased the Radeon HD5450. Again, very cheap. Less than £10 I paid for this on, again, eBay. So rather than me showing a very boring video of me putting the components in the PC, I think you probably all know how to do that by now. If not, there's stacks of videos on my channel that you can watch that show you how to put or change a processor and show you how to install a low profile graphics card. But instead of that, we're going to take a look at some gameplay and let's see if we can actually play something that resembles games. Okay, first we are going to take a look at Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Bit of an old game really. Would expect this to run quite well, but sadly we have, well, I've got this running at the lowest resolution, 1024 by 768, and as you can see it's not particularly brilliant. We're getting around 25 frames per second, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it kind of is playable, but I really wouldn't take it online to try and play it competitively. But it runs. Next we have the mighty Dirt 3. Absolute belter of a game. Trying this at 720p. Oh dear, not good. Getting 8 frames per second. That is pretty bad considering that this game is available on the Xbox 360. We're not even getting as good performance as what you would get on that. Admittedly, that'll be optimised for consoles, and some of the settings and the graphical options will be a lot lower on the 360 due to its lack of horsepower. I could probably run this at a lower resolution, but it's just going to look rubbish if I do that. So yeah, this is a no-go. Next we've got CSGO. Again, lowest possible settings and lowest possible resolution, which is 720p, and this is pretty much unplayable, and I'm not just saying that because I've just been shot, but that is unplayable. Never mind. Yes, a strategy game. So strategy games tend not to be that graphically amazing, or at least older strategy titles don't appear that amazing, but there seems to be a lot more calculations on the CPU, which is why this seems to run fairly well. Unfortunately, for some reason, I was unable to get the FPS counter to display.
I think it's because this uses a slightly different API to what games would normally use, which is Vulkan or DirectX. I think this uses Direct Play. Forgotten what that is, but I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But this runs particularly well. It is an old game, but it's a good game. We've got the texture settings at high, and we've got the resolution at 1024 by 768. Okay, now we're just taking a quick look at Planet Coaster, which is a fairly recent game. What you'll see here is we're getting 3 frames per second. But, having said that, something I have noticed, if you look at the CPU usage, we're nowhere near 100%. There's a lot of stuff getting calculated in this game. Given the physics engine and the amount of guests I've got in my park, which at the moment is 3,438, it's doing alright. We're just struggling graphically. I've got all the settings turned right down and we're running at 720p. But I am 99.9% certain that if we put a better GPU in this PC, we'll actually be able to run fairly modern games like this. And next we have the Windows 10 version of Minecraft. So, playable, maybe not actually. We're looking at quite a low frame rate there. It's dropping as low as 18, that sort of level, which is not cool. But if it's just a young'un who's just getting into PC gaming, then it may be an appropriate start to get them used to the mouse and keyboard controls. Or indeed, you can actually plug in an Xbox 360 controller, or any other controller for that matter, and play this using the said controller. But yeah, again, the bottleneck here is the GPU. And let's have a look when we use a very much optimized game. So we're gonna look at Call of Duty Mobile here. This is running on the PC, despite it being the mobile game. Don't know how to play it. Just search for Tencent Player on Google and you will find it, and you can play Call of Duty Mobile on your PC. We're getting rubbish frame rates as expected. Very much an unplayable game, which is a shame. I thought this might have worked. Got all the settings on the lowest, but no, it's not happening. Too jumpy and impossible to use.
Lost the lead.
Very, very disappointing performance. I think spending £10 on a graphics card is never a wise idea. I am now going to look at spending a whopping, you ready for this? This is more than the actual PC and the processor. £30. So I'm going to go for a GT 710 with 2 GB of GDDR5. Now, GDDR5 is probably going to be overkill in a GPU of this standard, but what we'll get by spending a little bit more money is a much faster clock speed. So that should enable us to play some games that run in something other than DOSBox, games that actually run in Windows 10, that actually run over 20 frames per second. I'm looking forward to it. I would hope you are too. If you are, or if you aren't, click like or dislike. If you are looking forward to it, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and let's see what happens when we upgrade the GPU even further. Let's see if we can play, as a very bare minimum, Dirt 3. I'm sure a GT 710 will handle that. So what I've learned today is that a graphics card that costs the price of 3 or 4 pints is not a good idea. It's a terrible idea. It won't run many games. Well, it won't run any games that from the last 2 decades. It might run some very old titles, but we don't want to do that, because what's the point? We can play games like that on a tablet that costs you 30 quid second hand, or maybe 30 quid brand new if you bought it. So, what's my conclusion? My conclusion is this. The Radeon HD5450 is absolutely shit. Please do support my channel by hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification if on a Monday night you want a special treat, which is me talking absolute gobbledygook about PCs.